evening. Hi, thanks for joining. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. We've got 16 minutes. So tonight we've got planned, we're going to add shoulders loosening off and a bit of work on the posture and twists. So twists mainly for detox a little bit and stimulating the digestive system, good for the immune system, and also some rotation moves as well on our standing strong postures. So quite a bit to get through. So we'll get started with our initial relaxation. So lying down, and if you can make yourself comfortable. So we're transitioning from our busy day into trying to be quiet in the mind, down maybe to help do that. If the mind feels very active and all over the place, the best thing to do really is first of all do our body scan. So bring attention into your feet, and as you try to just notice the body as it lies on the support, you feel the weight of your body being supported by the floor. So any tension, if you notice any tension, just maybe taking a few deep breaths in and out through the nose to see if the tension eases off. And then we'll go into either the corpse pose or constructive rest. So corpse pose is the feet out, stretched along the floor, and small toes out to the side, or the knees bent up with the knees together and the feet out at the side. So that's a little bit of external rotation of the hips. And then we'll bring that body scan. So just taking awareness into the feet. Notice if there's any tingling or any energy there in the feet. Sometimes there might be kind of throbbing or just sensations. And taking awareness slowly up the legs, into the knees, into the hips, into the lower back, the middle back and the upper back, shoulders, face. And then feel your whole body as it relaxes. And take awareness to your breathing. First of all, we start with our natural breath. Now we move into a deeper breath. So as we breathe in, this is called the three-part breath or yogic breathing. As we breathe in, the tummy expands. Breathe all the way into the side ribs and the chest. And then as you exhale, as deeply as possible from the chest, the side ribs and the tummy. So the inhale is where the body expands and we bring energy into the body. And the exhale is where we release tension from the body. So spend about 6 deep as possible breaths as you can. So the main aim sometimes in a yoga practice can be to stay aware of your breathing, which helps to bring us into our rest and digest system, especially if we focus on our exhale. So you could make that your whole intention in the class tonight is just to focus as much as you can on your out breath, and by the end of the class you should be feeling a lot more relaxed, less tension. So maybe have that as a goal, or maybe it could be to stretch and focus on just stretching or staying strong. It's up to you. So we'll get ready for our gentle supine warm-up. So stretching out both legs, bringing the feet together and taking a deep breath in. Stretch the arms above the head. Breathe out as we bring the arms down. Draw both knees in towards the chest, just hugging the knees in. So that should feel good for our back. Maybe taking the knees side to side. And then slowly bringing both feet down towards the floor and taking the feet about hip width apart. So we're going to lift up into a bridge. So press the feet into the floor and press your palms into the floor and slowly tilt the pelvis up and then lift the hips off, the lower back and the upper back. So here, breathe in and lift the hips higher. Breathe out, draw the tummy in. And breathe in and lift the right arm above the head. So the back of your hand is resting on the floor above your head. Breathe out, slowly bring the right arm down. And then breathe in and lift the left arm above the head. So the palm is facing up. And breathe out, slowly bring the left arm back. So that both palms are now on the floor. Breathe in, lift the hips higher. And breathe out and slowly release from the upper back, middle back and lower back. So the same again, press into the feet, press into the hands. Breathe in, lift up again, so you're peeling the back off the floor. Breathe out, draw the tummy in. Breathe in, stretch the right hand above the head. Breathe out slowly, bring the right hand back down. Keep pressing into the feet to keep the hips high. Breathe in, lift the left hand above the head. And breathe out, bring your left palm back to the mat. Breathe in, lift the hips higher again. Breathe out slowly, releasing the back to the mat. So one more the same. Press the feet into the floor, breathe in. First of all, tilt the pelvis up and lift the hips high. Breathe out, draw the tummy in, so we're bracing our abdominals. Breathe in, stretch the right hand above the head. Breathe out, slowly back down. Breathe in, left hand above the head. Breathe out deeply. Bring the left palm back down. Breathe in, hips high. Breathe out, draw the tummy in. Slowly bring the back to the mat. And then bring the knees into the chest. So a couple of breaths, hugging the knees into the chest for a pose which is called Apanasana, and that's wind relieving posture. So Just to do this, if you've got anything such as stomach issues or heartburn or anything like that, is good. We're just stimulating our digestive system. And then slowly bringing the feet back to the floor and stretch out both legs, bring the feet together, take a breath in again, stretch the arms above the head. Breathe out slowly, bring our arms back down. This time, pressing your left foot on the floor and bringing the right knee in towards the chest. So here we're extending the sole of the right foot up towards the ceiling and keeping the right knee bent. So the right thigh is kind of resting on our chest. And then if we can, we're taking hold of our right big toe with the first two fingers. And we're drawing that right knee further onto the chest. So again, very good for our digestive system as it's being compressed. So 5 breaths. This is called half happy baby. So 5 deep breaths here. Again, see if you can focus as much as you can on your exhale. So here we have got our stretch for our hamstring and also stretch for our hips. And then here, if you can, now let the right leg go straight up. So the right leg is straight and the sole of the foot's up towards the ceiling. So take hold of the right leg with both hands, interlock the fingers and just push that heel up towards the ceiling, toes towards the face. And 5 breaths here again. Slowly bring down the right leg right across the floor, stretch out the left leg, both feet together, take a breath in, stretch the arms above the head, breathe out, bring the arms back down, bring both feet pressing into the floor, keep your right foot pressed into the floor with the right leg bent, and extend the left foot up towards the ceiling, keeping the left knee bent now, and trying to bring your left thigh on near to your chest. Take hold of your left big toe with the 2 fingers on your left hand. So half a happy baby on the left side, and holding again for 5 breaths. Slowly straighten the left leg, push the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, push the heel away and toes towards the face. So quite strong in that left leg. If you feel the left thigh, it should be feeling like it's strong and engaged. And then taking hold of the left, behind the left leg with both hands, interlocking the fingers. Again, keep the left leg strong, push the heel away for 5 breaths. Slowly bringing down your left leg, stretching out both legs, feet together, take a breath in, stretch the arms above the head, point the fingertips away, point the toes away, breathe out, bring your arms back down, and bring both knees in towards the chest again for Apanasana. So hugging the knees in, maybe taking the knees side to side, just feel that massage in the back. we're going to either roll up to seated, drawing the tummy in, or taking the knees down to one side and press it into your left hand to lift up slowly. Okay, so here's we're going to do some moves to loosen off the shoulders. So if you've got a belt or a scarf, so we can either do this sitting cross-legged. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's best to have a cushion to sit on, especially if your knees are up here. Really, your knees, if possible, want to be lower than your hips, and you want to be able to sit up with a straight back. So you can sit cross-legged if you want to, or you can sit in what we call hero. So for hero, you're sitting back on your heels, or you can bring a cushion on to rest on your calves and sit on the cushion, which will give you a better lift, which is what we're looking for. So if you've got your belts or towels or scarves, so first of all, we're taking the belt, holding onto the belt with both hands. We're trying to imagine we're ripping the belt apart above our head. So even if we do that, try to stretch open and then bring the belt just in front of you, and then stretch the belt above your head and behind your back, lower down. So stretch up, forward, stretch up tall each time you lift up. You should feel a nice opening in the chest and in the armpits. So feel a bit like you're on a rack. So 2 more. So remembering we're breathing, focusing on the breath, and as you breathe out, you're noticing that you're drawing your tummy in gently, just to help us support the lower back. Okay, and then forward again. Maybe just a couple of shoulder rolls. So now we're taking the left hand behind us and the right hand stretching up. And we're trying to, again, imagine we're ripping the belt or the scarf apart. So the right hand's lifting up and the left hand is drawing down. So hold here for 5 breaths. And changing sides, so left hand comes up and right hand stretches down, and hold for 5 breaths. And release the belt slowly. Okay, so just some upper body twists and stretches. So we're going to sit cross-legged here. So get your cushion, if you need one, to give you that nice flat back. So sitting cross-legged, just notice which leg is in first, is in front. So for me to sit naturally cross-legged, my right leg is in front. So just notice, because we'll do the exercises on the other side as well, so we're properly balanced. So bringing your right hand to the side and stretch your left fingertips above the head. Reach the left fingertips over to the right. And a couple of breaths. Slowly changing sides, so left hand down, right fingertips stretch over to the left. And lifting up again, and then for a gentle twist, so left hand rests on right knee, and the right hand comes behind, drawing your chest towards your right, drawing face to the right. back to the centre slowly and twisting to our left. So holding onto your left knee with the right hand, left hand, keep it quite close to your lower back to keep the spine nice and long. So you can gently rotate the chest towards the left. Back to the centre and stretch out both legs here. So we're sitting in staff pose, so we're pushing our heels away, toes towards the face, and if we can, maybe lifting the heels off the floor. If you do that, you'll notice again that these thighs are engaged, they're strong. The thigh muscles are switched on, which help us to protect our knees, and this is what we want when we're doing our standing postures. So this is called staff pose. So hold in staff pose, just bringing the hands by the hips for 3 deep breaths, bringing our chest forward and shoulders back. From staff pose, we come into, first of all, into butterfly. So soles of the feet are together, and we bring the soles of the feet as close as we can into the body, drawing our chest forward and our shoulders back. And seeing if we can bring our knees closer to the floor. So here holding for 5 breaths. Slowly bringing the knees together and just sitting up tall and coming into a twist with the knees together. So squeezing the knees together and squeezing the feet together, just holding on to both legs with your left arm, and then we're twisting over to our right. So the right hand comes behind, again the lower back, and we're gently rotating our chest and our face to the right hand side. Coming forward again and changing sides, so hugging the knees together with the right elbow, and then left hand comes behind, rotating from the tummy, the chest, shoulders to your left. And back to the centre again. And we do those stretches for the upper body again. So onto the left ankle forward. So cross legs again, this time with your left shin in front, if your right shin was in front the first time. So with those stretches, first we go to our left. So stretching the right fingertips over to the left. If you want to, you can bring your left elbow down. So a deeper stretch for the right hand side of the body. We press into the hand or the elbow, change sides, so hand down or elbow down, left fingertips over towards the right. In to lift up slowly, and we're going into the twist first to the left hand side, so left hand close to the lower back, twisting towards our left or rotating towards our left. back to the front and then rotating to our right, keeping our spine as long and as straight and tall as we can. And back to centre, and walking our hands forward, just going to rest forward, maybe having the back slightly rounded, bringing the crown of the head down towards the floor. Lift up slowly, and from here take the hands behind and push the fingertips, take the fingertips forward and push the chest, lift the chest up towards the ceiling. If you want to, we can lift the hips off the mat as well. You've got that opening up of the front of the body. And slowly come back down. Stretch out the legs, come onto all fours now. So from all fours, first of all we're going to step our right foot forward. So we're going to do our lunge and a twist. So if you just make sure your right foot is forward enough so that your knee doesn't go past your ankle, so the knee is in line with the ankle. First twist is just keeping the left hand so it's underneath your left shoulder and lifting up those right fingertips up towards the ceiling and trying to bring your chest over to the right. So holding for about 4 or 5 breaths. Slowly bring the right hand down, and then the next twist is bring both hands over the right foot, and then if you can draw your left elbow so it's kind of resting on the right thigh or the right knee, and then bring both palms together and looking over your right elbow. So palms together, and try and keep your balance, draw the tummy in, and about 3 more breaths. Release the hands either side of the right foot. So here, taking your hips back, coming onto the right heel, and just drawing that right foot slightly forward. See if we can straighten the right leg. Deep stretch for the hamstrings, the right hamstrings. Bringing our right foot so it's pressing back into the floor, stepping the right foot back. So we're back into tabletop. And then changing sides. So the left foot comes forward, in between the hands. So first of all we do the twist with the right hand just underneath your right shoulder, and then lifting the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, holding for about 4 or 5 breaths. Into the full twist, so this time both hands over the left foot, and then see if you can draw your right shoulder so it's as much as you can over your right thigh, and then bringing the palms together either just looking forward or looking over your left shoulder. And again, about 4 or 5 breaths. Slowly bring the hands back so that either side of your left foot, and then going into that hamstring stretch. So taking our hips back and drawing, so we've got a left leg that's straight and we're on the heel of the left foot. Try and keep your chest forward and pushing your bottom back. Bringing the left foot so it's flat on the floor and drawing our left foot back, and then coming into a gentle child pose. So bringing the bottom back onto the heels. If you need to, you can have a cushion underneath your thighs. Just resting in child pose. Either resting your head on the mat or resting your head on your hands. Deep breaths. Focus on your exhale. Feel your whole body expanding on your inhale, and the body releases on your exhale. Lift up slowly. We're going to come into the first down dog of the evening. So fingers are spread and the wrists are underneath the shoulders. So go into it in stages. First of all, turning our toes under. So just trying to press all the pads of the toes into the floor, and you feel a stretch in your toes. Then first of all, lifting our knees off the mat, bringing the chest through to the thighs. So take your time to slowly lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and then walk in the dog. So one heel comes to the floor or near the floor, and one knee bends, and then changing sides. All the time, try and keep your chest as close as you can towards your thighs. And that helps us to have a flat back in down dog. Helps us to open the shoulders more. And we also will find we get a deeper stretch in the back of the legs, so the calves and the hamstrings are nicely stretched out. And then slowly walk your feet up towards your hands. Then we'll come into our first standing forward fold. So knees stay soft to support and protect your lower back. So we have a couple of arm position or hand position options. So you could do take hold of opposite elbow, crown of the head releases down to the floor, and the weight of the elbows helps gravity to draw us closer to the floor. Or you can have the fingertips just in front of the feet, or the hands holding onto the calves or the ankles behind. So take about another 5 breaths in the forward fold. then we're going to press into the feet, bend the knees, draw the fingertips up the body slowly, keep the chin on the chest and bring the crown of the head up last. And here we are at standing. So we're going to do some bit more full body stretch now, so some standing strong postures. So we need to think about, if we can, engaging these thigh muscles like we did when we were seated. So first of all, we're going to do a bit of a stretch for the iliotibial band. So that's the band that runs from the outer hip all the way down to the outer knee. So first of all, crossing your right ankle over your left and stretch up tall. So the fingertips are towards the ceiling and the palms are together. And we're taking our hands over to the left hand side, trying to keep the arms nice and straight. Pushing our right hip to the side, to the right. Might feel a bit of compression in the left hand side of the body. So strengthening, squeezing, toning there. Back to the centre. Stretch up tall before we lift. Extend the fingers to the right. This time pushing your left hip out to the side. Breathe in back to the centre. Stretch up tall and breathe out. Bring the hands down. And from here, hands on the hips. So here, we want to go forward, hinge from the hips and go forward with the flat back. So we've got that flat back. Go forward as far as you can, bringing the chest towards the floor. And then slowly bring the fingertips down the legs. So again, the fingertips now, or the hands, can be on the shins, the ankles, or just in front of the toes. And here we've got a rounded back. You just want to go forward as far as you can with the flat back first. So try to press all four corners of the feet into the floor. So notice that the toes are pressing into the floor, the balls of the feet, the heels. Notice maybe you're a bit more into the heels, so maybe coming a little bit more forward. And then keep the knees a little bit soft as we draw the fingertips back up, slowly lifting up, vertebrae by vertebrae, chin on the chest, and our head up last. And then across the ankles. So we go to the other side, so left foot over right. Again, feel the feet, all parts of the feet as though they're grounding down into the floor. And then stretch up the hands, breathe in, grow taller through the whole body. Then we're taking our fingertips over to the right, pushing the left hip to the left. And then slowly hands stretch up, breathe in. And slowly over to your left as you breathe out. Try and keep the arms as straight as possible. We're stretching out the abdominals here. Breathe in, centre, stretch up again. And breathe out slowly. Bring the arms down. And then hands to the hips again. So going to that half forward fold first. So breathe in, chest forward, shoulders back. Breathe out, push the hips back, come forward with a flat back as far as you can, bringing the chest down but keeping your chin kind of forward. So we're getting a deep stretch for the hamstrings, maybe a stretch for your lower back. And then we again draw the fingertips down the legs. We can keep the knees a little bit soft as always to support our lower back. And then we want to get those feet grounding down as much as we can in towards the floor. So all parts of the feet. So you might notice you're going back into heels. So come forward a little bit. About 3 more breaths in this forward fold. feet into the floor as we lift up slowly. And bringing our head up last. And cross the ankles again, shake out the legs. Okay, so now we're going into a couple of poses to our right hand side, which is kind of like a sequence for standing strong. So we're taking the feet apart, and probably wider apart than you think. But first of all, we're drawing our kneecaps up so we can feel that the thigh muscles are engaged to keep our knees safe, really. So the left heel's out to the side slightly, and right toes out to the right. We can keep the hands on the hips, or we can interlock the fingers and draw the hands towards the floor with the arms straight, and then bending that right knee. So if you bend straight away and you notice that the right knee is falling in, you need to guide your right knee so you can see your right big toe. And then we can straighten and bend, straighten and bend all the time, tracking to make sure that the right knee is staying out to the side. You should feel a stretch in your inner thighs. If you can't, just take the feet a little bit further apart. And then coming into Warrior Two, so stretching out the fingertips, palms facing down. So we're not leaning over to the side, kind of drawing that left fingertips back a little bit. And we're trying to make a right angle with the right knee. And then looking over your middle right finger, so 5 breaths in Warrior Two. And coming into the side angle, so bring your right elbow so it's resting on the right thigh. First of all, taking your left hand, so it's either on your lower back or it's resting on top of your right thigh. So we can go a little bit lower into the right angle. You need to press into your left foot and keep your left leg as strong as possible. And we're trying to draw the chest up towards the ceiling and our left shoulder back. So about 3 more breaths here. We're going into the full side angle, so here we stretch the left fingertips over towards the right. We want to keep our chest lifted though. 3 more breaths. And press into both feet as we lift up slowly, and straighten both legs, toes facing forward. And we're going to go into a forward fold, so hands on the hips, we're lifting the chest forward. But again, keep bringing your chin forward, so you could bring your chest as close as you can to the floor with the flat back. Press the feet into the floor, draw the kneecaps up, and then bring both hands down to the floor, about in line with your shoulders. And turn your heels out slightly. Draw the kneecaps up, and then press the left hand into the floor and stretch the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And hold here for 3 breaths. Slowly bring the right fingertips down, so palm down on the floor. Press into the feet as we lift the left fingertips up and rotate the chest to the left. 3 breaths. Slowly bring the left fingertips down. Then just heel toe the feet together a little bit. And then bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees, and slowly lift up, back to standing. And then we go into that Warrior 2 and the side angle to the left. So toes out to the left, left toes, and right heel slightly out. Pressing the feet into the floor again. First of all, make sure our hips are facing forward, chest forward. Then we're going into that right angle with the left knee. So we can do this in stages. Again, checking that the knee doesn't go beyond the ankle, and seeing if we can go for that right angle with the left leg. And then again, we can draw our chest forward by interlocking the fingers and keeping the fingers drawing down to the floor with straight arms. And then if you want to, we can lift into Warrior 2. So arms out straight, maybe drawing the fingertips, the right fingertips back a little bit towards your right. So we're not going here, keeping the upper body in line with the hips. Looking over your middle left finger, about 3 breaths. And then come from here, coming into side angle. So left elbow onto the left thigh. First of all, taking the right hand behind so it's on your lower back, or it's reaching round for the top of the left thigh. The right leg is straight and strong, so drawing our right kneecap up and pressing into the right foot. With 3 breaths first of all, opening the chest, drawing our right shoulder back. Then drawing the right fingertips in a straight line up towards the ceiling. 3 more breaths. And slowly draw the right hand back down, straighten the legs, and maybe just bringing the feet together a little bit. So toes facing forward again. Hands on the hips, draw the kneecaps up, breathe in, chest forward, breathing out, coming into that wide-legged forward fold, pushing your hips back, keeping the back as flat as possible as we come forward. And doing those rotations again, so just try not to have your toes going out, try to have your toes coming in a little bit and your heels going out. And drawing both kneecaps up so the thighs are strong. And then bringing the hands in front of the face again. You feel that stretch in the calves, maybe the hamstrings, the back. And then pressing your right hand into the floor, stretching the left fingertips up towards the ceiling, rotating the chest towards the left. 3 breaths. Bring the left hand down, stretch up the right fingertips towards the ceiling, rotate the chest to the right, 3 breaths. Bringing the right hand back to the floor and heel toe feet slowly together so they're about hip width apart, and then slowly draw the fingertips up the body, rolling up, keeping the chin on the chest and bringing the head up last. Okay, so one more standing posture. So here, if you've got a cushion or a block, it helps when we want to engage the thighs. So bringing the block or cushion between the thighs and the feet just kind of not together, just a little bit apart. So we're going to come into chair and rotated chair. So bending the knees, squeezing a little bit lower and stretching the hands up. So just try to not stick your bottom out, tuck your tailbone under and try and have a nice flat back if you can. Hold for 3 deep breaths. Squeezing the block as much as you can. So if you're pressing into your feet, you might feel a stretch in the calves. So I'm rubbish at squats. This is it's called chair, but it's kind of a squat, but I'm rubbish at them. So keep squeezing that block, and then we'll go into a rotation. So palms together, rotating to the right. Your left elbow's kind of resting on your right thigh. You're looking over your right shoulder, or just looking to your right. And keep squeezing the block. Keep pressing the feet into the floor. Another 3 breaths. And then slowly stretch the arms up again. Breathe in. Breathe out, we're rotating to the left. So right elbow resting on the outside of the left thigh, palms together, looking towards your left. Pressing the feet into the floor, squeezing the block, 3 breaths. Coming forward again, stretching up, breathe in, breathe out, squeeze the block and bring the hands back down. And release the block. So we'll come down onto our knees, onto the mat. We'll do some cats and cows here to move our spine a little bit. So breathing in, we're lifting up the tailbone and then lifting up the face into the cow. And then breathe out, tuck the tailbone under, and then slowly like a ripple, arch the spine up towards the ceiling, draw the tummy in and bring the chin towards the chest. And then breathe in, starting from the tailbone, lifting the tailbone up, lifting the chest forward and lifting the face forward. So try to work from your tailbone. So go into the angry cat, first of all tailbone tucks under, then the spine arches up, tummy in, chin towards the chest. Press the mat away if you can, so we get a more angry cat. And one more into cow as you breathe in. Angry cat as you breathe out. And then from here we'll go into the wide-kneed child pose. So the toes are together and the knees are quite wide apart. And bring the bottom to the heels. If you need a block, you can place that between the thighs, the hamstrings and the calves. And then we're going into our twist. So bringing the hands over to the right hand side, place the left hand on top of the right hand, and kind of just tilting, so we're looking underneath our left armpit. So kind of tilting towards the right, trying to lift the chest up towards the left. So holding here for about 5 breaths. Slowly coming back to the centre with the hands, then walking the hands over to the left. This time right hand comes on top of the left. We're leaning over to our left but looking under the right armpit to see if we can rotate the chest up to the right. We feel a stretch up the right hand side of the body. 5 breaths. going to come into the final pose for relaxation, which is reclining twist. Okay, so there's two options for reclining twist. You can have the knees together and feet together with the legs bent and arms out like a T shape. Knees, both knees down to the right hand side, feel a stretch up the left hand side. Or we can do the right leg out straight, left foot over right knee, and then drawing the left knee down to the right with the right hand. You might need to shuffle your shoulders a little bit over to your right. So hold here for 5 breaths. And here we're seeing if we can slow the breath down as much as possible, ready for final relaxation. Feel each breath, there's no rush, just notice the breath, each and every breath, notice. Back to the centre with the knees slowly. Before we go to the opposite side, adjust the back, maybe bring the knees into the chest. So you can do both legs reclining twist or one leg reclining twist. So if it's one leg reclining twist, left leg out straight, right foot over the left knee, drawing the right knee down to the left with your left hand, maybe shuffling the shoulders a little bit over to the left. Slowly back to the centre, and we'll get ready for our final relaxation. So if you need to, we can bring the knees into the chest, we can rotate the knees side to side or stretch out one leg, stretch out the other leg, just so we feel as comfortable as possible to relax. So if you pop something warm on as well if you need to, so only about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes in your final relaxation, just to assimilate everything we've done in the class. So if you settle down, notice how you feel now, how the mind feels. Are the thoughts a bit more calmer? Is the mind a bit calmer? So lying flat on your back, with the knees bent, or with the legs out straight. Allow the body to sink into the floor. Make your breathing soft and gentle. Relax the hands, relax the shoulders. We're going to just work on tense and relax. So sometimes we're tense in the body and we're not even aware of it. So we're going to raise different parts of the body and contract them hard for a few seconds and then release and relax. So starting with the ankles, tense the feet, squeeze the toes, breathe in, relax the feet and toes and breathe out. Do the same for the muscles in the legs. Breathe in, tense shoulders up by the ears, squeeze the facial muscles, breathe in, squeeze, breathe out, release. Allow everything to release and let go. Breathing deeply. Feel the body becoming heavier, softer. Feel the wave of relaxation moving all the way up from the feet to the crown of the head. Focus now on your soft, deep breath, in and out through the nose, moving back into that 3-part breath. So the inhale, feel the body as it expands. So breathing as much as you can into your tummy, into your side ribs, chest. And then release from the chest, the side ribs and the tummy as you exhale. And leave that 3-part breath behind. Just moving into your natural breath. Bring awareness back into the room. Gentle movement back into the body. Whichever way feels good. Rotating the ankles, rotating the wrists, wriggling the fingers, wriggling the toes. Then when you're ready, stretch out both legs, breathe in, stretch the arms above the head. Breathe out, bring your arms down slowly. If you like, bring the knees into the chest. And then we can take our knees down to one side, or we can roll up slowly to seated. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you soon. Bye.